A very good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight on BeeTv Major News at 6, coming to you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital, Nigeria. I am Gift Uwagboy. We begin our news tonight from Benin City as residents of Goroti Road along Opusakbomba Road are counting their losses due to the ravaging flood that took over the area during Tuesday evening's heavy rainfall. BeeTv News Osaroge Agwebo, who visited the flood-prone area on Wednesday morning, reports that the residents of the area, including the owner of a flooded story building, passionately appealed to the Edo State government for rescue. The report.
Last man standing, all the landlords have left, all, including the chief. That's a palace here. He left about 10 years ago.
This is the situation at the Goroti Road, Ikpobaoka local government area, Benin City of Edo State, as flood ravaged several buildings in the wake of Tuesday downpour. The residents are still in shock from the disaster caused by Tuesday evening's heavy downpour, as the area was plagued by flooding that affected several homes. Some affected residents, including the owner of a flooded story building, Mr. Edoma Efosa, said the area has been experiencing devastating flooding for years and has forced many residents and landlords to abandon their houses. They said whenever it rains, residents in the area always have a hard time accessing their homes, as the area is usually inaccessible due to the blocked drains in the area that are not wide enough to carry the water, as the area is always flooded.
I'm a landlord here. That white upstairs is my house. Because the whole area was flooded. But as you can see now, there's water on the road. The rain broke a fence before that filling station there. So all the water, if you get to my house now, the ground floor, they are filled to window level. You understand me? So that's why you see that here is dried now. So it has been a protracted problem for the past, I can say, for over 20 years now. So we don't know. We are tired of complaining to government, and there is nothing an individual can do about it. And it's not wide enough even to go through in manhole, because normal drain that I know in other climb is as what you can enter, even machinery can enter to remove.
Goroti Road, where motor and all tipper they pass, but the road, just follow at all, because water they take over the road. If small rain, no drainage system, nothing. So now, so the water just full everywhere. Yesterday, people they fall inside gutter because nowhere to pass, and people was trying to go home. So they just they manage, but water everywhere.
You got everything don't block. If any rain fall for your third gas more 5 seconds, no road. Motor don't feel pass, I cannot feel pass. Now yeah, they walk. No, everybody will come on. So please, even enter this house.
The residents passionately appealed to the Edo State government to come to their rescue and construct a wide drainage system on the road, which they said would help solve the flooding menace always affecting the area.
I beg, may the government come help us for this Goroti Road. I beg, may they come help us for this Goroti Junction. I beg, we beg them.
In the part Trasomba, almost first gate of Goroti, I beg government, may come help us. I beg. We beg you so that we'll get till they work, get our daily bread.
What would they, if you can help the federal government to help us with the drainage, it's under that one there. They put a big drainage there that all the water will be empty there.
All everywhere. There's no motorists that can pass there. Even there's no footmat or footmat that can even check there with flag. So all we want is federal government or the state government or local government in authority to please look into it.
When the news crew visited the office of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, located at Sapler Road, to inform them about the condition of the Goroti Road, the site engineer, Engineer Prince, who was not visibly on ground as he was on site, assured the news crew that they will look into the road issue. Osaroge Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
The governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboribori, his deputy, commissioners, and former governor of the state, Ifeanyi Okowa, have officially defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. The announcement was made following a closed-door meeting at the government house in Asaba on Wednesday evening. The governor's chief press secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, who confirmed the decision, said the decision was reached after wild consultations with political stakeholders and in the interest of Delta's long-term development. Oboribori, who emerged victorious in the 2023 gubernatorial election under the PDP platform, was received by senior APC officials in what political analysts are already describing as a strategic alignment with significant implications ahead of the 2027 general election. Some pedestrians have expressed displeasure over the conversion of Oba Market walkway into a trading ground where traders display their goods, causing inconvenience to road users. BeeTv News Osaroge Agwebo reports that the road users are calling on the government to intervene and relocate the traders inside the market to restore the walkway for safe and unobstructed passage for pedestrians. The report.
The walkway at Oba Market, stretching from Oropota Hall to Oba Karai Junction, has been transformed into a marketplace, with traders displaying various goods on the walkway, causing a significant inconvenience for pedestrians, forcing some to use the road instead of the walkway. Some pedestrians expressed displeasure over the conversion of the walkway into a marketplace, describing it as an eyesore, particularly given its location in the city center. They called on the government to intervene and relocate the traders inside the market to restore the walkway for a safe and unobstructed passage for pedestrians.
Walkway to have an easy, people to have easy walk on the road, but for turning it to a trading place is not good, because the road is there for the vehicle to pass. The walkway for the people who are trekking to have an easy trek, and if they cannot have that easy trek, it's an aberration to the purpose for which the walkway is created. So it's not good. I want to call on the relevant authority to ensure that the walkway is clear for people to pass.
Because of the ignorance, illiteracy contribute to it. Anybody seen there should remove all the thing, because it's really a walkway. Are causing many accidents. Some people are coming, even with this their phone, they will not even look ground, they will just be reaching their phone. Before they even jam in, they will not even know whether people are trading there. But the rest thing, we have to call to the local government or people in power to let them know that that place has been recorded as a walkway and should be called walkway. Because what I'm trying to let you understand that what is good and what is bad is bad.
I wear a motor the park, baby, walk up for and I the cheap. I always go to the market. You go buy inside the market. The came me go to about happen now. He play famous now. It's not good.
It is expected that the government will swiftly swing into action to address the disorderliness on the walkway and restore it to its original purpose. Osaroge Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
Road users of the New Lagos Road have expressed displeasure over the reckless parking by commercial buses and the indiscriminate street trading on the road, called on Edo State government to swiftly address the lawlessness on the road before it deteriorates further into total disaster. BeeTv News Osaroge Agwebo, who monitor the state of the road, tells us more.
The problem we have with Nigeria is that most of the things that we establish as law, we don't follow them up. So there should be law enforcement agents that are sincere, that will work on this traffic light.
This is the chaotic situation experienced daily at New Lagos Road in Benin City, where the 4 junctions leading to Ring Road, Aduwawa, 2nd Junction, and Uselushe have become an hive of traffic congestion and lawlessness, as commercial buses drop off and pick up passengers at the middle of the road without any form of regulation, and traders indiscriminately display their wares on pedestrian walkways and along the road. Road users expressed displeasure over the state of the road, stating that the reckless parking and street trading on the road inconveniences road users, pose a risk of accidents, and give the area a disorderly appearance.
Selling is not good. What happened at Ring Road last month, killing of people, is very rough. If government can arrange and put strategy in place to guide people who will control the traffic, very important. The way cars reverse here is dangerous to human life. As I was coming, I was afraid, you know, how they are driving. So it's not good. Otherness is even part of Christianity. So we should follow what we preach and how we live our life. Very important.
It's not really pleased with the way the environment is. The environment is congested. The traffic direction is not proper. Everything here is just congested. So our advice that there should be a proper direction on the traffic in order to avoid congestion, and besides to avoid accidents on the way. Then there should be people on ground who are busy taking care of this traffic congestion.
The road users called on the government to swiftly fix the damaged traffic lights on the road to help regulate vehicular movement and address the reckless parking and street trading on the road and walkways.
If I go buy something, I go see where park. I do see the way bus stay there, so nowhere to park. Even the market women, now even God, the grace of God, now they save them and they take shade along the road. Accident fit happen, and once accident happen, e go kill many people. So we dey beg our state governor, all these people wey dey comot, wey dey take off this road, make dem come back.
The new Lagos road, once plagued by chaos, saw sanity and order restored early this year with the introduction of the Public Safety Response Team by Governor Monday Okpebholo. However, since their suspension, the road has returned to chaos characterized by disorderliness. It is expected that the Edo State government will swiftly take action to address the disorderliness and lawlessness on the road before it deteriorates further into total disorder. Usarogie Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
Motorists and road users plying the Upper Ekenwa Road have lauded the ongoing construction work on the road. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that engineers were fully on site carrying out finishing touches on the drainage with both sides of the road fully asphalted. The report.
This is the new look of the Upper Ekenwa Road in Benin City, courtesy of the administration of Senator Monday Okpebholo. Residents and motorists of Upper Ekenwa Road have now heaved a sigh of relief following the level of construction work ongoing at the road, which is executed by the Senator Monday Okpebholo administration. BeeTv News crew visited the area, reveals that work is almost completion as site engineers are on the ground carrying out fittings around the drainage areas, with both sides of the road already completed. Motorists and residents said the project is a landmark achievement made by the current administration, adding that the Upper Ekenwa Road before now was a nightmare to road users, but now it is a relief for them.
But you know, there was still more to do. At least it's a bit less of stress for us who were using this road, more especially many of us who were in this environment. But we're still asking, if you move front, you will see that there was still more to do. But we appreciate for the work so far.
Because you know they go almost 2 years when I come here last, because now Upper I dey stay. I just carry load come. When I come from Upper, I carry pens come just now. When I come, as I come, I tell them, I say, this road not good before. He said, I don't do it. As I drive, they come, because we had the road for bad. Now from after that church, for front there. Now from that place come this and I did worst well. As I reach here, I say, they try, yeah. Now the man say our governor, they try. I say, why? They try.
It's a good and a pass mark to the government, because the rain, say maybe from now till the end of the month, from next month, is going to be a time for rain to come in. So, but what we are seeing so far now, like this vehicle, I do go to mechanic workshop almost every day. But to what I'm seeing so far now in this road is very okay with us, and all the motorists, bike, and every other road transporters, we are happy.
On the road, now better governor, is good.
I'm very glad. I can see there's enough changes in this road. So I pray that God will strengthen him so that we finish this project.
The work they are also doing here, we like it. Yes, I'm okay with the work.
They said the government can extend the road to the Upper Ekenwa axis of the road.
Okay. If you see where they finish this one and where they stop this one, from there up, terrible. Okay. Terrible. So I'm just pleased that the government should please help us to finish that area. Even where they stop this road now, you see, just about a pole where they stop, it's not terrible. People are now passing corner.
So in other words, they should extend the
They should extend the job.
Just like the drillage that we're doing, they need to do more in order to, to wrap up before the rain. Because we know we are already at end of April now. And before you know it, the rain will come in. And we know the kind of the rainy season we used to have.
Upper Ikenwa Road is one of the roads in the state that has received government attention. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
As the world commemorates World Book Day on April 23, 2025, respondents have called for improved reading culture. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe report that the day is set as a day of reminder for everyone to sustain a reading culture. The report.
I'm a book person anyway. Though this week I've not read a book because of some certain things, but last week I read a book.
Reading a book is part of self-development, and that have been emphasized by book lovers in Benin City. World Book Day is a day set aside globally to remind everyone on the need to read books regularly. Many believe that the day reminds everyone, especially young persons, why they should sustain a reading culture, adding that reading books improve lives in various aspects, especially in career building, mentoring, business ideas, and lots more. They said a lot of persons hardly read books these days as they are engaged with their phones, especially amongst the young ones.
I'm a book person anyway. Though this week I've not read a book because of some certain things, but last week I read a book. Okay, the book is called The Power of the Mind. Okay, how you can bring out something out of your mind, how you can bring out ideas out of your mind to be creative about a particular thing. So I read a book. So the importance of reading a book is to enlighten you, because anything you might not know if you do not read a book. Like they normally say in the civilized clan, that if you want to hide anything from an African man, you put inside a book, because Africa doesn't open books. So I want to urge all Africans and in Nigeria in general, we should learn to read our books.
Yeah, reading a book is like making your memory, open your memory. Because a day if you did not read, like 1 year you don't even know anything, you don't have anything. Because a day you read, you have more memory in your brain, you have more things to learn. Understand? So it's like a class. You did not go to class for 1 week. You go back to the school and start reading, more books. But by the time you read, you have more memory. Then you know what you need to know about about your life.
Reading a book is really, really important, because book holds the thoughts of others. For you to be able to go into the mind of others, to know what they've learned, to know their perspective and their take on things, you need to read books. And I think reading of books keeps us informed. I read books, I buy books. So I'd encourage everybody to read books, because there are certain things I didn't know that I got to find out by reading. And reading has even become more easy, because there's a lot of technology that translates written materials into audio forms, because some people find it difficult to focus and read. So this can make those people that are struggling read books easily.
Reading generally is a good thing. It's only if you read that you can become somebody that is educated. But nowadays, people don't keep books. Even in my own house, we used to keep books very well. But nowadays, many people don't pay attention to keeping books because of all the records that they keep on the phone. It's like the phone is gradually destroying books.
And to everyone, when last did you read a book? This is a question left for you to answer. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
In a painstaking technical intelligence-driven operation, operatives of the Aduawa Divisional Police Station in Edo State have successfully recovered a white-collar Toyota Hilux with registration number Edo 757EA and arrested one Friday Bassi, 30 years old. The said vehicle was on 14th April 2025 at about 5:50 hours stolen from where it was parked along Palace Road, Ute, off Upper Mission Extension. While investigations has commenced, the suspect has made useful statements that would assist the police. According to the police public relations officer, Edo State Command, CSP Moses Joe Yamu, the command can be reached through the emergency control room numbers 080-777-73721 and 080-376-5 46272 in case of any security threat in any location in the state. In Benue State, where recent attacks has left at least 7 persons dead in different parts of the country, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, visited the state today and assured that the federal government will continue to provide the needed support to avert further attacks. The report.
The visit by the National Security Advisor to the President Bola Tinubu is at the instance of a recent killing in different parts of Benue State. The meeting focused on enhancing collaboration between federal government and state authorities to address issues such as armed others attack, banditry, and the displacement of residents' chief executive present in the avenue. The National Security Advisor also conveyed the President's firm resolve to bring an end to insecurity.
Here on the directives of Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he directed that I should come this morning to come and tell you, of course, his greetings.
Traditional leaders representing the 3 zones in Benue also expressed their pain in words.
For my local government, I take stock of daily killing, the mass murder. The total population as of 17 April is 598. Simply tell Mr. President, there is a legislation against open grazing, and we have activated that. I want the federal government to accentuate on it. On the Good Friday, which was about 4 days ago, Ukum had horrible massacre on Good Friday. We don't want to look at it as coincidences. These are calculated attempts.
Aliya acknowledged the visit, staying hopeful.
Sena Ala, Ukum, and local government, that is the headquarters of yams in the state and in the whole world. Benue counts as #1 producer of yams in the entire world. And that is our headquarters where we have the yams. So if we're talking about food insecurity in the nation, and right home here, we're experiencing its shortage, then it means it's not a good omen.
This government is responsible. This government listens. This government will come. This government will identify. It probably will not be able to say in 1 year or 2 years that you will completely stop it. We have done very well. Issue of security is relative. That's why you have seen us in Benue State.
The meeting concluded with both parties agreeing on the necessity of continued collaboration to restore peace and stability in the region. Esohe Osemeke, reporting for BeeTv.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has reorganized the police mobile force following a high-level meeting with its commanders. The meeting focused on evaluating the state of internal security and reinforcing the PMF's role in Nigerian security architecture. The IDP commended the role of the police in the fight against insurgency, banditry, and violent crimes, but expressed concern over the change of the PMF's original mandate as an elite tactical unit to restore operational efficiency. IDP Egbetokun says unauthorized PMF deployments will be withdrawn as squadron size reviewed.
It is imperative that we reevaluate its current role within the national security framework. Such an assessment will allow us to realign the unit's core mandate with the broader strategic goals of the Nigerian Police Force and ensure a more effective, responsive to modern security challenges. It's important that we remind ourselves of the original vision that shaped the police mobile force. The PMF was established as the strike arm of the Nigerian Police Force, an elite tactical unit created to respond rapidly and decisively to riots, emergencies, and internal crises.
The leaders of the All Progressive Congress in Abia State have called on the Southeast region to align with the federal government, saying the region stands to benefit more under the current administration. They spoke to journalists after the party's meeting held at Ahuwa Borough in Ikwanu, led by former Minister of State for Science and Technology, Henry Iko. The party leaders strong support for the president, whose infrastructural development they said is visible across the region. They advised the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, to support President Tinubu and not to bother contesting in the next election.
Well for himself, but what we need now, we don't need any regional something. Any regional something will be like a spoiler game to Southeast people. Peter Obi should queue up and support this president. When he gets to our turn, if there is anything he has to offer, he will come out and support. But for now, Tinubu, we are going to return Tinubu come 2027. The president has done so well in Abia State and in Nigeria in general. Must key into this federal government.
He's doing well. Check what they are giving to governors. Had they been giving such amount before? The hunger is that the people that are supposed to give these people the food, they think that President Tinubu renewed hope gave them. They are not giving it. That is why there is much hunger.
Borno State's Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports Development and Poverty Alleviation says it has taken necessary steps to empower more youth in the state to become self-reliant. The report.
As Borno State recovers from the 13-year Boko Haram insurgency, government and development partners have been making effort to mitigate the increase of poverty in the state. The government is of the view that if youth are empowered, they would not be engaged in any art, and other forms of social vices. Youth across the state have been empowered with cash, entrepreneurial equipment, and skill acquisition training.
The launching of 1 billion naira support to the people of you, and I will only to commend all of you, and may God bless you. Let me also use this opportunity to commend my Commissioner for Youth and Poverty, Honorable Senator.
According to the State Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports Development and Poverty Alleviation, this move is a step in the right direction.
What Professor Babagana Abdul-Dilma has done in terms of poverty, had it been this intervention have not done in the state, I'm sure we are going to have arrests. That is why always the governor is willing to ensure that we put food on the table. I know it's not sustainable, but we are doing our best to ensure that people have something doing.
The commissioner noted that the progress made so far has engaged thousands of youths across the state, especially survivors of a 10-year insurgency.
Building a disciplined society, to me, is more important than even giving money to an indisciplined society. I keep on saying a responsible youth is more elderly than an irresponsible elder. That is why training these youth to come with a very good upbringing is one of the cardinal principles of His Excellency.
As the government plans to scale up its youth empowerment program, it is expected that more youth will be engaged across the state. Esohe Osenegi reporting for BeeTv News.
The recurring clashes between herders and farmers in local communities are not just claiming lives but also threatening food security and deepening economic hardship. With many farmers unable to access their farmlands due to fear of attacks, residents say the situation is fueling insecurity and making basic foodstuff unaffordable. The report.
All these boys where their head not theirs, just call them. Put them, give them better salary. They will fish out these people for you.
In affected areas, farming becomes a risky venture. Those who manage to plant often cannot return to harvest, and for the few who succeed, getting their produce to the market means sneaking through dangerous routes. Residents say this has led to scarcity and rising food costs, making life even harder for ordinary Nigerians, and the impact of this conflict is far-reaching, from food inflation to widespread fear among residents.
I think the effect of it is that there will be food scarcity in the country because many people will be scared to go to the farm. And with that, you know that within the village that goes to the farm are farm that brought those food to the city. So with the herdsmen and others, so it will now scare people to go to the farm as a result. So there will be food scarcity, people unable to buy foodstuffs, and there will be hunger in the land.
Each of them that go to farm, maybe about, let me say, 50% of them, they have injury when they are coming back. And these things not supposed to be like that. And if you see the foodstuffs in the market now, very high, like plantain, because of as a result of this herdsmen not making them to go to the farm to plant, even when they want to plant, by the grace of God. But when they want to come and harvest their food crops, that's when you see this herdsmen, they say, yes, this is the time they want to strike. And by the time they strike, most of these things, they go bad in the farm. And whereby the small one who can smuggle out is very expensive.
Crisis has a major effect not only on the agricultural products, but on the well-meaning lives of Nigerians and Nigerians. Where I think that we should be conscious, we should be vigilant, and we should all also take security as what is important for us as a people. The effect is enormous, but one thing I know is that it will definitely add to the decrease of food production, of the interest of people going into farming is also reducing, and also it also leads to escalation of prices of goods and services in the market.
To tackle this crisis, respondents are urging the federal and state government to mobilize more security forces and equip local vigilantes to protect lives and farmlands.
Those state governor, please, I'm begging you, if you can get these our big boys. I don't say police, because the police, they do that. All these boys where their head not theirs, just call them, put them, give them better salary. They will fish out these people for you. They will fish them out because they said they know the location. So that's just what I want government to do for us. And it should give them better equipment to face them, because they said their equipment is more than our own here. So, and they have so many weapons they use to kill people.
The government has so many roles to play on this. I think that is why we have the security, all the agencies. So where the federal government or the state government can well deploy those to the villages and all this area to ensure that those farmers are being secure. Because what we are seeing today that is not pleasant to the people. People are scared to go. So the federal government has a big role to play on this by deploying the security to the various villages and farms.
As a government whose responsibility is to protect lives and properties of citizens, is to wake up to its responsibility and to also put in place measures, put in place laws, encourage vigilantes, people to a joint task force to be very proactive, to also deploy intelligence to cope in this menace.
Residents say only a strong, sustained security presence can restore peace and allow farmers to return to their lands without fear. Gifts Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News. The Nigerian Army has asked farmers within the Kwara part of the Kainji National Park to vacate the area ahead of its onslaught against armed bandits. It's planning to increase the number of its men in troubled spots following recent activities of bandits in that local government. BeeTv News Harmony Agbafo has the report.
Over the weekend, at least 7 vigilantes in Kayama local government area of Kwara State were reportedly killed in what was described as a reprisal attack by the armed bandits. The bandits, chased from the northeast, were said to have been terrorizing locals, especially in Kimanji and Kainji National Park in the last 5 years. This prompted Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrasak of Kwara State to lead security chiefs in the state to Kayama. At the Emir's palace, the governor assured the people of prompt actions to clear off the armed bandits from the state.
What they're planning basically is a major operation, and by the time
it starts, you will know what has happened. Even the last one they did was just a recce operation, a recce thing. It's just a small process. So if it was just a small process that they are reacting to, they should now wait for the big process.
The Emir of Kayama, Muazu Omar, confirmed the presence of the armed bandits within his territory in the last 5 years. He called for the establishment of a military base in the vast game reserve.
First of all, operations will continue. Then our soldiers here, they need to be, the manpower has to be increased or need to be increased. If possible, more FOB, either at Nanu and Kemanji, if it's possible, but if not, that more personnel can be deployed.
The general officer commanding 2 divisions of the Nigerian Army, Major General Obinna Onubogu, who confirmed the armed bandits were on a revenge mission, asked the people to cooperate with the military to defeat the bandits.
I can assure you from our end in the Nigerian Army and also as a member of the armed forces is that we shall do everything possible to ensure that we have a safer park and a safer area within Kayama and by extension Baruten and Borgu local government.
Intelligence gathering is key in combating this kind of non-state actor fight. So we will try as much as possible to let our people know that vital information should not be hid.
The community appears calm, but there is a stand warning from the military and that's for the locals to vacate the Kainji National Park before it unleashes the massive onslaught against the unwanted visitors. Harmony Agba for reporting for BeeTv News.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, generated 6.96 billion naira in mining fees and registered 118 new private mineral buying centers in the first quarter of 2025. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, revealed this while speaking at the second annual mining conference in Abuja. He said the revenue reflects the outcome of the ministry's effort to raise awareness and attract investors. The minister noted that 600 titled applications were approved for exploration, 270 for small-scale mining, 49 for quarrying, and 24 for reconnaissance permits. He said 67 applications were improved, including 512 exploration licenses, 295 small-scale and 60 quarry leases, and 5 mining leases. He added that the cadastro also stepped up conflict resolution to reduce petitions arising from overlap and litigations over ownership. A word of continuous invention and groundbreaking discovery, Tunde Onakoya has once again taken a bold step leading to a landslide victory as the longest marathon chess player to be recorded in the World Guinness Book of Records, a big win that sets an eye-opener for parents to embrace mind games to boost cognitive abilities and emotional intelligence for their kids. BeeTv News' Sandra Ogenekebe has the report.
I think whatever he's doing, it's good. I think it's something we should appreciate, encourage and embrace. It will help us take kids out, expose them, give them the international exposure for whatever they do.
Mind sports games like chess, scramble, monopoly, sudoku, and more has resurfaced to be seen as interesting games and, if encouraged, could boost the mental capacity of children as it fosters children to think smart and be creative. This discovery gains a beaming light with Tunde Onakoya, who recently won the longest chess marathon player in 2025.
It's a good one. And I will congratulate him because it's not easy. He has been practicing it for a very long time to bring it to perfection. So it's good. It's gone international. And they should include it because it will help to grow that child when he's coming up at that age to get to secondary school, to the university, to become perfect. That is it.
I will say this scramble of the teams, the mind game. So putting into school curriculum activities will help educate the children's mind. So maybe in time of their free period, break period, they can just create a space for them to go and do those kind of activities. Having those equipment even in the school safe will help.
In spearheading the mental well-being of the children, Mr. Idemudia Sunday, a parent and others said it is a positive step that should be taken in the right direction if initiated in school games could help children grow mentally while setting a pace for international possibilities.
I think from my personal perspective, I think games like this are games that helps sharpen the brain. It's kind of expose you to think more, like think outside of the box. Unlike the regular games we play in our schools in Nigeria, I think when such games are included in our curriculum, students, pupils, any level of education you are, it will help expose them, harness their skills and help them become better person in whatever they choose to do.
Chess to be incorporated into schools for students because it will help them get smarter in the sense that it helps to create some level of critical thinking for them. You know, it can make them a bit, intelligent when it comes to thinking, thinking out of the box. Because our universities, secondary schools, they don't really teach life per se. So the chess game is like, even though it's not life, it helps you think deep.
The leaders of tomorrow are the young minds of today, and as such should be given every opportunity for them to discover themselves and grow in the right path. While Tunde Onakoya enjoys this great victory, young minds are propelled to keep pushing, building, and growing in the diverse unique games. Sandra Ogenekewe reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to the foreign scene, where U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has warned that the U.S. will leave the peace process if Ukraine and Russia do not accept the latest proposals. BeeTv News Global News correspondent Rebecca Goffey tells us more on these and other stories from the foreign scene.
Vance has warned that the U.S. will leave the peace process if Ukraine and Russia do not accept the latest proposals. His remarks follow the withdrawal of top U.S. officials Marco Rubio and Steve Witkoff from the London ceasefire talks with UK, France, Germany, and Ukraine. The U.S. is now focusing on talks in Moscow, where Witkoff will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for the fourth time. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continues to call for an immediate, full, and unconditional ceasefire, stressing that ending the violence is the top priority. Vance said the U.S. has made a clear proposal to both sides and expects a response. If not, he said the U.S. will walk away. Meanwhile, the UK government borrowed £151.9 billion in the year to March, £20.7 billion more than the year before, putting more strain on public finances just as U.S. tariffs start to affect the economy. Chancellor Rachel Reeves is in Washington to push for a trade deal with the U.S. to protect UK exports from these tariffs. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said that there is a good chance of reaching an agreement. The higher borrowing has sparked concerns that Reeves may need to raise taxes or cut public spending later this year to stick to her borrowing rules, which don't allow borrowing for day-to-day expenses. A series of earthquakes, the strongest, measuring 6.2 in magnitude, hit Istanbul, causing widespread panic. People rushed out of buildings in fear, with tremors also felt in Ankara, the capital, 275 miles away. Though there is no major damage reported, at least 151 people were injured, many while jumping from buildings in fear. Reports noted that scientists have long warned of major earthquakes in the city, which adds to residents' fear during moments like this. And lastly, on global news, shock and anger continue to rise after gunmen killed 26 tourists in India-administered Kashmir. The attackers opened fire with automatic weapons near the scenic town of Pahalgam, bursting out from nearby forests. Some of the injured remain in critical condition. Among the dead are a man on his honeymoon and a businessman traveling with his family. No group has been officially blamed, but some media outlets report that a group linked to Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba may have claimed responsibility. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has returned early from a foreign trip to meet with security officials and has vowed that those behind the attack will be punished. And that's it from the global scene. Rebecca Goffey reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to the exciting world of entertainment. Grammy winner Burna Boy continues to make strides with his historic concert. In another landmark feat, Burna Boy recently sold out the Co-op Manchester, which is England's indoor biggest arena. The reports. The concert, which took place on April 21st, 2025, comes just days after the Grammy winner made history by filling up the 80,000 capacity Stade de France in Paris. At his Manchester concert, Burna Boy thrilled fans to a rendition of his hit song, Hit Records, with which he has built one of the most enviable touring repertoires for an African pop star. Similar to his Paris show, he brought out Nigerian street hip-hop sensation Shali Poppy, with whom he performs the remix of his single Lahore, which is quickly becoming a global viral song. Following his sold-out Manchester concert, the hitmaker will be returning on stage on April 24th as an headliner for the Jazz and Heritage Festival, New Orleans. 2025 is already off to an eventful start for the superstar, who has announced a new album titled No Sign of Weakness, expected to be released later in the year. Following the release of his much-awaited fifth album, 5, Davido has released the music video for the single Offer Me. The song, featuring R&B star Victoria Monet, saw the Grammy winner bringing essential vocals into Afrobeat territory to deliver a smooth fusion that quickly became one of the standout tracks on the album. The music video, released on April 22nd, 2025, was directed by KBLDR and features both stars indoors against a backdrop of female dancers, bringing its sensuality to life. Released on April 18, 2025, 5 features 17 tracks and multiple guest appearances from music stars worldwide. With 5, the megastar will aim to achieve the same immediate success he enjoyed with his fourth album, Timeless. Nigerian rapper Falz is about to take the Nigerian music scene by storm with the highly anticipated release of his 6th studio album, The Feast. After months of teasing his fans, the acclaimed rapper has finally dropped the bombshell. The album hit shelves on May 30th, 2025. Building on the success of his 2024 EP, Before The Feast, which boasted collaborations with Adekule Gold, Fino and Flavor, Falz promises a masterclass in genre blending sounds and thought-provoking themes. With his signature wit and lyrical dexterity, Falz is set to redefine the boundaries of Nigerian hip-hop. Gifts Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News. And now talking sports, Cristiano Ronaldo and Al-Nassr are one of the 3 big spending Saudi Arabian clubs hunting the AFC Champions League glory on home soil when the final knockout stage begins on Friday. Let's now join our sports correspondent Freeman Osawe, who has more on these and other trending sports stories.
The cash-rich Saudi club have lured stars from Europe, meaning Jeddah's Al Ahly players. Riyadh clubs Al Hilal and Al Nassr are among the favourites to lift the trophy on May 3 at the 62,000 capacity King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Saudi teams dominated the West Zone League stages with Al Hilal and Al Ahly both unbeaten in 8 games, and Ronaldo's Al Nassr next best as they feed the top 3 spot. Portugal's Ronaldo, the former Manchester United and Real Madrid star, is still going strong at the age of 40 and has 7 goals in the competition this season as he looks to win his first AFC Champions League in the twilight of a glittering career. Al Nassr coach Stefano Piloli believes the side, who lost in the quarterfinal last year, can go all the way. Manchester City's Matheus Nunes scored deep in injury time to salvage a crucial 2-1 Premier League victory over Aston Villa on Tuesday in their breathless chase for a Champions League berth next season. Teams appear to be heading for a draw after Marcus Rashford's penalty cancelled out Bernardo Silva's goal in the first half. But Nini's fired home Jeremy Juku's cross in the 94 minutes to leave City placed to third in the table on 61 points. Pep Guardiola men, however, played one more game than the 3 teams directly behind him, while Villa, who have lost 15 successive games at the Etihad Stadium, remained 7 of 57 points in the crowded top of the table. NPFL fines Akamini Warriors 3.5 million to pay behind closed doors. And finally, on sport news, the Nigerian Premier Football League has slammed Akamini Warriors with a 3.5 million fine following crowd trouble during their match day 34 clash against Ikorodu City in Maiduguri. The NPFL also ordered their stadium closed to fans for the rest of the season. This was disclosed by NPFL in a post on its website on Wednesday. This comes after Akamini Warriors supporters were found guilty of vandalizing the visiting team's vehicle and throwing objects into the pitch during the match. The describing this action as grave breaches of its code of conduct. That's it on Sport News. Freeman Osawo reporting for BeeTv News.
And that's the size of our news package for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Gift Uwagboy. Have a good